Welcome back to another episode of NBA Weekly. I'm your host, Pee Wee the Plug. 1/4 through the wire, number one Knicks fan in the world, a.k.a. Mr. Know-It-All. Game 3. What a game for the Milwaukee Bucks. Finally get their first win of these NBA Finals, so we know, us fans, that we're not getting a sweep at the least. This is exactly why I told fans way before this series started, and my advice to the Suns and Bucks fans, listen, it's going to be a long series. Don't get too high. Don't get too low. Just try to stay even-keeled as possible because a lot of people are going to overreact. And a lot of people are going to say some things that they may not mean. Okay? Incredible win. I think this is a much-needed win. Not in the obvious state that they were down 2-0. But it's the fact that they won this game big. You know what I mean? They won at home, which is what they were supposed to do. It's the same thing the Suns did, which is why they always say a series doesn't start until the team wins on the road. So, tonight's game, a lot of the key things and key characteristics that I bring up in stats for these finals games and just normal playoff games for me, things that are always important. Offensive rebounds, which is a category that the Bucks won. I think they won it like 13-6. Turnovers, a battle that the Suns had been winning, but they didn't win today. The Suns had 14 turnovers, and the Bucks had single-digit turnovers at 9, so they won a turnover game. And a theme that we haven't saw in this series yet, the Bucks won the free throw percentage battle. The Suns shot below 70% for the first time in this entire series. And I think the Bucks shot around 85% or 86%, which was their first time this entire series, if I'm not mistaken, shooting above 70%. I think the first two games in Phoenix, the Bucks didn't shoot the free throws real well. They shot around 60, 64, 65% in both games. And then tonight they come out and they shoot 82+% from the free throw line, while the Suns struggle and uncharacteristically shoots below 70%. And then also from the three-point line, the Bucks shot around 38, 39% from three, while the Suns shot below 30% for the first time in the series at 29%. Last game, they made 20 of their 43s at 50%. To go from 50% from three to 29% is a big drop-off. This is also a game where Devin Booker wasn't really looking like Devin Booker. 10-point game is not something you can predict or expect from Devin Booker. And it's not something that we should expect to happen again. If I'm a Suns fan, you can probably understand it and know and guarantee that Devin Booker is going to have a 10-point game again. And if you're a Bucks fan or a Bucks player, coaching staff, whatever, you are pretty much sure that Devin Booker isn't going to have 10 points again. Jay Crowder comes out and makes 6 threes. So my theory of when Jay Crowder makes 2 or 3 of those things, you can call it a night. I guess that theory is winding down. Maybe he caught wind of it. Maybe he saw it through the wire or one of my recaps or Twitter or something, because that theory is now out of the window. I think Aiden still had a good game. Had about 18 and 10, 18 and 11. He had a double-double. I think he may have led them in scoring, if I'm not mistaken. We didn't have the Mikal Bridges game. I got it. Matter of fact, let's pull up the numbers. I have the percentages and the turnovers and all of that down packed in my mind because I'm a big, like I said, those are things that when I'm watching and I go to look at a box score, I don't go and run and see how many points people have unless it just stands out. You know, if you're watching the game and you see, oh my gosh, Mikal Bridges hits 10 threes, then yeah, that jumps out on the screen. But I run to the turnover category for teams. I run over to the free throw percentage. I run over to the offensive rebounds, and then I run to the free throw line and the percentage, and to see key players getting to the line. So, yes, Devin Booker 10 points, 1 of 7 from 3. I think he had a game like that early in game 1 where he was like 1 of 7 or 1 from 12. Devin Booker's had these crazy playoff games where he's like 1 of something from the 3-point line. So that's not good for D-Book. But yes, Aiden had 18 and 9, right? 1 rebound short of a double-double. He had 2 offensive rebounds, which is good for the Bucks to limit his offensive rebounds and second chance points for the Suns. Chris Paul, 19 and 9, 8 of 14, almost 60% from the field. That's a nice solid Chris Paul game. But yeah, Jay Crowder, 6 of 7, 18 points. That means all of his points came from 3. He didn't get to the free throw line. Miles Bridges goes from damn near outscoring Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton to only having 4 points. And then the bench, Cam Johnson tried to come in and make an impact, but he's usually your 3-point threat, and he only goes 1 for 5 himself. And like I said, 29% from 3 really won't cut it for Phoenix. That's not the type of shooting that they usually do. Not saying that they're going to always shoot 50% from 3 like game 2, but below 30% from 3, they're better than that. 16 attempts tonight, and again 68% from the free throw line. Below 70% is not ideal for this Phoenix Suns team that I've watched all playoffs and all season. They're a much better free throw shooting team than that. You get 2 missed free throws from Booker, missed free throw from Chris Paul, 2 missed free throws from Torrey Craig. Uncharacteristic misses for Devin Booker and Chris Paul. They're usually almost guarantees at the free throw line. 14 turnovers. 4 of them came from Chris Paul. Understandable. He controls the basketball a lot of the game. Mikal Bridges has 4 also. Mikal Bridges cannot be turning over the ball that much when he doesn't even... He can't have the same amount of turnovers as Chris Paul when he doesn't even have the ball in his hands as half as much as Chris Paul does. You know what I mean? So that's not good. Aiden with 2 turnovers. Book with 1. And then we go to the Bucks side. Just to get the specifics for them. Chris Middleton gets to the free throw line 3 times, which is his first time all series getting to the free throw line. So even though it's just 3, nothing crazy, but I still want to see the aggression and see him getting to the free throw line. And he made all 3. He made all 3 because he's going to shoot the free throws really, really well. Giannis got there 17 times. Nothing new. He usually gets there around that many times. But the difference is he only missed 4 today. In the last game, it's exactly what I said. If Giannis, instead of going 11 of 17, if he makes 3, 4, 5 more of those and only misses 2, 3, or 4, it's a different game. And it's what happened here. He got here 17 times as well, and he made 13 out of 17. And he's at 76%. That's very, very good for Giannis. And I think he needs to continue to shoot the free throws at a above 70% threshold, because that means he's giving them more of a chance. As a team, again, they shot 77% from the free throw line. That's much better than we were. You have to me, be able to always shoot above 70% from the free throw line. They're free points. That means out of every 10 free throws, you're making 7. When you start getting down to the 50s and 60s, that you're almost missing as many free throws as you're making. It should never be splitting hairs. It should always be closer. You should always make double the amount of the misses, right? So if you make 7 and you miss 3 times 2 is 6. You made more than double of your misses. But if you're only going there and making 6 out of 4, that means if you do 4 times 2, you miss 4 times, you double that. That's 8. That means you're not, you know what I'm saying? You're not making double your attempts because you're only missing 6. So you off by 2. So that's just my math and my mathematics and how I gauge it is very strange. It may not make sense to some of y'all. It may make perfect sense to y'all. But that's just how I view it. 13 offensive rebounds. That was the other category. What did the Suns get? It's a lot of numbers I got to remember, so I have to be looking sometimes. They only had 6. So to limit them to 6 offensive rebounds, while you get 13, you basically doubled their amount of offensive rebounds. That's 13 second chance points opportunities that you have. And I wish there was some stat where we could see how many of those offensive rebounds turn into points and how many of those points equated to. Highlight games. Bobby Portis. I've been asking Coach Bud my last video, game 2. I know all of my viewers. I got special viewers who watch every single recap game. I know you guys remember me saying, hey, sometimes it's a give and take world, right? So Bobby Portis' defense may not be where you want it to be. It may not be as good as some others. But if those others are getting scored on anyway, and then on top of that, they're not giving you much offensive value, just give them a chance. Throw him out there for an extra 10 minutes. He had games where he played 4 minutes. How can you dictate or judge a player's impact on the game in 4 minutes? You can't. Tonight, Bobby Portis plays 18 minutes and damn near gives you a double-double. 11 and 8 off the bench, 4 of 11 from the field. He hit a 3. He got to the free throw line in 11 minutes. He went 2 of 2 from the free throw line, which is damn near just as much. Or he got to the free throw line more than Drew Holiday, who shot 0 attempts, which I don't like either. He had a good game, especially offensively. He stepped up, gave us 21 points, 50% from 3, 5 of 10, 8 of 14 from the field, 57%. But he got to get to that free throw line. Giannis, Middleton, and Drew all have to be shooting, to me, 4 or more free throws. You got to get to the free throw line at least twice a game. 2 trips. 4 free throws at the least for them. Your top dogs, to me, have to get to the line. They're the best players on the team. They're all-star caliber players, so the refs are going to be more prone to blow the whistle. It's just the way that the game is. You get your all-star, superstar calls. Yeah, they're not going to get to the line as much as Giannis. He's the superstar. But you got to use that pool a little bit because you'll be more prone to getting a foul than Pat Connaughton. He doesn't have as much pool as those 3. You got to rely on your 3 to get to that free throw line. And as the Bucks, you don't want Giannis to have to shoot close to 20 free throws a game if he's struggling. You know what I mean? That's how players' confidence get low. He's airballing free throws. You don't want even to put him in that situation. Take some of that load off of him. But yeah, man, Bobby Portis got 18 minutes. He did some good things. Connaughton's still playing around 30 minutes, which isn't bad. I'm not against that. He had 2 threes. He's a solid player in their rotation. I'm not mad at that at all. Bobby Portis also got 4 of your offensive rebounds. Giannis got 4 and Bobby Portis got 4. So Bobby Portis gave you, high productivity. He only played 18 minutes and had a plus minus of 19, which is just Giannis had 20. To put it in perspective, Giannis had a plus minus of 20. Bobby Portis had 19 and played, less than half the minutes that Giannis played. So shout out to Coach Bud for finally throwing guys out there and just switching it up. Sometimes in the playoffs, big games, that's all that happens. They're basketball players. You just got to give, the same way the Suns had that magical game from Mikal Bridges in Game 2. It's like that. You just have to give guys opportunity minutes and stop sticking to what oh man, he ain't did this, so I got to take him right out. I never understood that theory and philosophy in any level of basketball. You cannot judge players in 2-4 minutes. You can't. High school basketball may be a little different because the quarters aren't as long as an NBA game. So you got to understand NBA is 12 minutes per quarter. That's 48 minutes. And guy playing 4 minutes, you're judging him out of 48 minutes. You're judging him in 4 of those and saying he shouldn't play any more. That's tough for me to believe. Now, in a high school basketball game where I think it's 6 minutes a quarter, I could be very, very wrong. I haven't played high school in a long time. It may be 8, which is 32 minutes. 4 to 5 minutes is damn near a quarter. So if you put out a guy out there for about a quarter, majority of a quarter, and he's showing you that he ain't doing shit, cool. And it's a shorter leash in high school because guys aren't as talented. But these are the best players in the world. These are the best players in the world. You do the math of all the roster spots on 30 teams, and you get the number. Let's do it. I'll do it on camera with y'all. Y'all know how we get down here. This ain't that fancy dancy where I'm afraid to do all of my stuff, look at my iPad, or pull out my phone. I'm not afraid to do that. This ain't that. So we got 30 teams, right? 30 teams in the NBA. There's 15 players per team. Only 12 play though. But I'm going to do the math on 15. 450 players. So you think about all the people in the world. Only 450 make it to the NBA. And you telling me that this guy, Bobby Portis, 11-8, half of his rebounds were offensive. That's 4 extra possessions and extra. I don't think y'all understand how valuable second chance points are, or points is. How valuable second chance points are, or the chance. We know, I'll take that back. Y'all know how valuable second chance points are. But just the opportunity to have a second chance point is that important, man. Is that important? And that's why it goes at all levels. And you saw it, and for people that watch the game, and I ain't just watching the box score, because I watched this game, you see the intensity, the energy that Bobby Portis had and the type of plays that he was getting mixed into. That's why guys like Bobby Portis, PJ Tucker, guys who may never have no 35-point game, or even the breakout game of Mikal Bridges, they may never have that game in this series. But it's those little moments where it's, let's go. I'm diving on the ball. I'm not afraid to get into it with your best player. I'm bringing intensity because when your best players that aren't kind of like that, the Drew Holiday, so I'm more laid back. Chris Middleton, a laid back guy. Every once in a while, Giannis will flex on you, whatnot. But it's those key role players who sometimes have to feel their stars up. You got to understand a lot of pressures on some of these guys. These guys who making $25+ million, it's a lot of pressure. It's a lot that goes in the psyche. You know what I mean? You have to perform. You can barely make any mistakes. Everything is right. These are legacy games. We're talking about something that a person has worked on their entire life, and it depends on this, how you'll be remembered. It's a lot. I know as a fan, we only watch the game. We don't understand the other psychological parts of the game. But it's a lot that goes in there. But that's why guys like PJ Tucker, they get bags that are $13, $14 million. That's why you got a Jay Crowder. As much as he switched different teams, he's always on a team. He's getting $8 million here, $9 million there. And you look over the course of their careers when they're done, and it's like, damn. This is a dude that never came close to making an All-Star game. He almost made $100 million in his career. This dude is making $70+ million. How? Never came close to a playoff game. I mean, to an All-Star game. We talk about like guys like PJ Tucker, Jay Crowder. They've never sniffed an All-Star game. But I guarantee you, in 4 or 5 years, when their careers are done and we look back, they gonna have bags. They gonna have bags. And I want to do it right now. Let's do it right now. Since we on here, I want to project, and not even project. Let's just see. Let's really see how much PJ Tucker has grossed over his career. I want to see career earnings, just so we can keep it about. I just want to keep it a buck. The finals was great. We had a great conversation about the games. I pointed out all the things that are always significant to me. Others may try to come up with theories and other things that don't matter. I'm a guy that's always going to watch those turnovers, 3-point percentage, free throw percentage, offensive rebounds, and I want to see how guys are getting their points. Career earnings may be incomplete. Basketball References says, but $42 million for PJ Tucker. $42 million for PJ Tucker. This guy never sniffed an All-Star game. And the reason he's not done, because you got to understand he's on a last year deal. He's going to be a free agent. Every year his money has went up. Every contract his money has went up. So I'm going to pause and wait. You know what I mean? That's why I say they may make, if PJ Tucker plays, how old is PJ Tucker? 33 or 30, something like that? 33, 34. PJ Tucker is, give me the age. PJ Tucker's 36. I can see PJ Tucker playing another 3 years. For sure. I can see PJ Tucker playing another 3 years. At 2, PJ Tucker has a type of value where he can make $14 million in a year. Contending teams want guys like PJ Tucker. You know, teams like the Lakers with LeBron, Anthony Davis, who just need guys that are going to bring intensity, make a corner three. Those guys get 11, 12 million. Depending on who the team is and how desperate they are. So I could see PJ Tucker going into the offseason and getting double digits. He had 42. He had 42 already. Finals run, if they win the finals, could you imagine the boost that it does? You get another $11 million deal. Next season you get another, or if he signs a 2-year deal, $23 million, $25 million, that's like 12 a year. You add that $25 million to his 42 now, that pushes him into the 70s over his career gross earnings from just playing. Same thing with Jay Crowder. Before we get out of here, I ain't gonna hold y'all that long. Come on, man. I'm just taking y'all to school. I'm just taking my viewers to school. You know, I love talking basketball, especially with my people, because y'all been real dedicated to me and my recap videos over the course of the playoffs. So I'm gonna take it a step further. Jay Crowder, $36 million. He's nowhere near PJ Tucker's age. Not that I know of. Boom, 31. Jay Crowder is gonna play for at least another 5-6 years. Let's look at PJ Tucker's contracts over his career. He's already made 36, right? Luckily for for Jay, he's a little younger than PJ. The game is different. The type of players they are, they're valued more now than when PJ first was breaking in the league. PJ always had value. Don't get me wrong. Hard-nosed player, gritty, willing to do anything, and dirty work, can make a corner three. But those type of specific players are more valued now than they've ever been. When I grew up in the 2000s, Guys like that weren't making the type of deals they are now. Money is bigger anyway, but still. He made $7 million with the Jazz. Then $7 million with the Heat. Had a finals run with the Heat. He's making $9 this year. 9.2. Yeah. The Suns gave him $29 million. Before the Suns deal, he made 36. So again, yeah, you give him damn near $30 million, and boom, that's 66. And that contract goes into what? He's 31, he's 32, 33, 34. When his contract is up, he's going to have at least 2 more years in him. And even if that contract minimizes because of his age, maybe his production goes down, Jay Crowder is always going to be valuable enough to get $5 million a year, $6 million a year. So even if he wraps up last 2 years and he's getting that's an extra $10 million. Contracts don't work out, you buy out, get another $1 million here. These guys going to make closer to $100 million when their career is done versus closer to 50. They'll be closer to 100. Hard-nosed players, man. I don't even know why I got back on that, got on that subject, but that's why, because that's what teams need, that's what teams want, and I like that type of effort from Bobby Portis. I got sidetracked. I'm sorry, but that's why I wanted Bud to do that. And you know, Suns fans, we're not gonna overreact on y'all side either. I just think it was a real good win for the Bucks to not only win, but to win big on their home court, get some confidence. Jrue Holiday, he got his shot going. Chris Middleton is looking better. Still not that fully great game, but this is all they needed, and it's all they needed in game 2. Giannis played with the same type of game, and I think, that I'm upset because we winding down to the end, and I didn't even give enough credit to Giannis. Let's talk about Giannis for the last couple of minutes. Giannis is playing unbelievable basketball, man. We need to talk and give Giannis his flowers. There's a lot to talk about the no jump shot, the lack of pure skill and pure basketball talent. But Giannis is really doing his thing, man. And I'm a person that does think Chris Middleton down the stretch is their number one option and things like that. But Giannis is showing that he's like that. He's one of the premier top talents in this league. I don't care if you don't like the way he plays or if you like guys who can shoot, whatever. The hell with what you like. Giannis is showing that he is a different monster. He's a monster. Back-to-back 40-point games. The last game, he carried them on his fucking back for as long as he could. And all he needed was a couple more shots to fall to really get him a chance. And we're seeing when Giannis plays at this level and he gets a little help, it's a blowout. It's a blowout. It's a blowout. Giannis played the same game in game 2. He just didn't get no help. Chris Middleton and Jrue Holiday combined to barely outscore Mikal Bridges. When that happens, oh man. But you see he plays with the same thing. They give him some help. It's a 20-point game. This series is far from over. Do not give up. This series is far as over. Guys like me who are not a fan of the Suns or the Bucks who just happy to have basketball, it's getting good, man. It's getting good. I was rooting for the Bucks today. I'm going to be rooting for the Bucks again because I would love to see this series go 2-2 and we can really get a full. I want this shit to go game 7. I want Chris Paul, Devin Booker. I want all the top dogs to play great. I want the three-headed monster for the Suns, Aiden, Booker, and Paul to play the best that they've ever played. I want Jrue, Middleton, and Giannis to play the best they ever played. I want it to come down to a game-winning shot, whether it's Devin Booker, Giannis, Chris Paul. I want some legacy shit. I want this shit to be done. And we say, oh my gosh, Chris Paul is the greatest point guard we've ever seen. Or I want this shit to go down and we say Giannis is top 5 and one of the greatest talents we've ever seen in this game. 2-time MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, got it out the mud, most improved player to fucking champion. I'm out, man. Peace.